Welcome students to online teaching program for standard 9 subject English. Myself Mrs. Vijay Kulkarni from JDC Pitco English Medium High School, Nasik Road. Children, we have already started with unit 1. In this video we are going to see unit 1.5, the necklace part 2. In part first, children, we have studied about Mathilde, who had come from a very middle class family. She got married to the minor official from the Ministry of Education department. After getting married, she wanted a very luxurious house. She wanted to be loved by the people. She wanted good dresses. She wanted jewelry. But in fact, she did not had anything in her life. Her life was very miserable one. One fine day when the husband came with an invitation from his department, first she was not ready to attend the party, but later on she borrowed a beautiful diamond necklace from her friend Mrs. Froistier in order to attend the party. As she wanted to be very charming, she wanted to look so beautiful, she wanted to charm in that particular party, so she had borrowed the necklace. And in the part first, we also have studied that Madame Loisel was a grand success in the party. She was the center of attraction in the party. Both Mr. and Mrs. Lell were the last one to leave the party hall. Both of them came home. Mrs. Loisel, that means Mathilde, had lost borrowed necklace from her friend. Let us see what happens with the necklace. Whether she finds the necklace or what happens, we are going to see in this part 2. After coming home, when they started searching the necklace, they looked in the folds of her dress, in the folds of her cloak, in her pockets, everywhere, but they could not find it. The husband asked, "Are you sure you still had it on when you left the hall?" In fact, both of them, they were very surprised and they were very confused. Now, where to search the necklace? Mathilde replied, "Yes, I touched it in the hall at the ministry." But still, it was there. Mr. Louisel further inquired, "But if you had lost it in the street, we would have heard it fall. It must be in the cab only." So, according to the husband, he thought that the necklace must have fallen in the cab. Mr. and Mrs. Louisel started thinking about their journey through cab to the party hall. They started recalling whether the necklace must have fallen in the cab or not. "Yes, that's probably it. Did you take his number?" She said no. They stared at each other, stunned. They were very shocked. At last, Louisel put his clothes on again. "I'm going back," he said. "Over the whole route we walked and see if I can find it." He left. She remained in her ball dress all night. Her mind was totally blank. Now she was very much sad. Her husband returned at about 7 o'clock. He had found nothing. In fact, he too was very blank. He tried his level best to search the necklace everywhere, but he was unable to find that. Mathilde was very all alone in the house. She didn't even thought that her day of the party would end in such a miserable condition. She was very much sad. Literally, she burst into tears and she didn't know anything what will happen further. So when the husband came home, Mathilde was very much happy. She thought of that there must be any positive answer from the husband about the necklace, but she was very much sorry. He returned blank. He went to the police in search of the necklace. He went to the newspapers to offer a reward for the necklace. He also went to the cab companies. In fact, everywhere he searched the necklace, not even a tiniest glimmer of hope led him. He tried his level best, but he was very much sorry he did not find the necklace anywhere. She waited all the day in despair when the husband was in search of the necklace. At this fruitful disaster, she was very much sad. Louisel returned in the evening, a hollow, pale figure. He had found nothing. He searched everywhere. You must write to your friend, he said. Now only one thing was left for Mr. and Mrs. Louisel, that they wanted to write a note to the friend, that means Mrs. Royster, from whom the necklace was borrowed. Tell her you have broken the clasp of her necklace and that you are having it mended. He suggested his wife that just tell your friend that you have just broken a clasp, that means a small part of that necklace, and you have given it for mended, so that we will get more time to give the necklace back. According to the husband, that will give us more time to search the necklace. These were his views. So he dictated a letter to Mathilde, and she started writing the letter as per dictated by the husband in order to tell the friend about the necklace. At the end of 1 week, they had lost all hope, and Louisel, who suddenly looked aged, declared, "We must consider how to replace the jewel." Now it was a very big question in front of Mr. and Mrs. Louisel, how to replace the jewel. And so they went from jeweler to jeweler looking for a necklace like the other one, consulting their memories, how much they recalled from the previous necklace. They started searching it everywhere from jeweler to jeweler, but sick with grief and anguish. Grief means, but they were very sad. Grief means sad, and anguish means mentally pain and suffering. Because they were very sad, they could not find the necklace. They searched everywhere, and now they started searching for the new one in order to replace that. In a shop at the Palace Royal, they found a string of diamonds, which seems to be exactly what they were looking for. It was worthy 40,000 francs. They could have it for 46,000. So they begged the jeweler not to sell it for 3 days. And they made an arrangement that he would take it back for 34,000 francs if the other necklace was found before the end of February. Now it was a time that Mr. Louisel had to do certain arrangement to take the necklace, which was the same exact one which they had lost. So Louisel had to pay the money. For that particular purpose, Louisel had 18,000 francs, which his father had left for him. He would borrow the rest, and he did borrow. He gave notes, made ruinous agreements, dealt with every type of money lender. Then he went to get the new necklace once again and laid down on the jeweller's counter 36,000 francs at last to take the exact same necklace what they wanted. At last, Mr. and Mrs. Louisel were successful in searching the same necklace what they had lost. When Madame Louisel took the necklace back, Madame Froister said very coldly, "You should have returned it sooner. I might have needed it." In fact, when she went to give the necklace back, her friend didn't know anything about the story behind the lost necklace. From then on, Madame Louisel's life was a miserable one. Her life was just like a very poor fellow, but she played her part heroically. The dreadful debt must be paid at last. She would pay it. They dismissed their maid from the house. Whatever maid servants were there in the house, they dismissed them. Now all the household work, Mrs. Louisel, that means Mathilde only, started doing herself. They changed their lodgings. Whatever house they had, they came to a small house. They rented a garret under the roof. Garret means a small house. A little bit large house she lived in, but now they came to a very small house. She came to know the drudgery of housework, the labor work what one lady had to do in the house, she came to know everything about that, because now she started doing her work herself only. The odious labors of the kitchen. She tried her level best. Each month they had to pay some loans, renew others, and get more time. Her husband worked extra work every evening, doing accounts for a trade sums, and often late into the night. He sat copying a manuscript at 5 sous a page, and his life lasted 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they had paid off everything, even the interest. Madame Louisel looked old now. Often she brooded, that means she thought very sadly, sitting all alone in the house, over the past happening. What would have happened if she had not lost that necklace? How strange life is, how fickle. Fickle means how her life took a sudden change or a drastic change. She used to sit and think over that every time. How little is needed for one to be ruined or saved. She used to sit and think about that. One day, on one Sunday, when Mathilde was walking in the Champs-Élysées, suddenly Mathilde saw Froistier, that means her friend. She was looking still young, she was looking still beautiful and still charming. On the other hand, Mathilde looked very much old. Looking at her friend, Mathilde felt very emotional. Should she speak to her? She thought. Yes, of course. And now that she had paid, she would tell her all. Why not? Mathilde thought in her mind. So she went up to her. Good morning, Jeannie. The other, astonished to be addressed so familiarly. Astonished means the friend was very much surprised. By this common woman did not recognize her. She stammered. Stammered means she waited. But madam, I don't know. You must have made a mistake. No, I am Mathilde Louisel, said Mathilde. Mathilde's friend uttered a cry. Oh, my poor Mathilde! How? You have changed. Yes, I have had some hard times since I last saw you, and many miseries, and all because of you. Me? How that can be? Mrs. Froiste was very much surprised. Why, because of Mrs. Froiste, Mathilde had to suffer? You remember that diamond necklace that you lent me to wear to the minstrel party? Yes, well, I lost it. Mrs. Froiste was very much surprised to listen to Mathilde's words. She said, What do you mean? You brought it back? It brought you back another exactly like it, Mathilde said. And definitely, it has taken 10 long years for us to pay for it. It wasn't easy for us. We had very little money. But at last it is over and I am very much glad. Madame Froiste was stunned. She was very much sad. You say that you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine? Mrs. Froistier said. Mathilde said, Yes, you didn't notice them. They were very similar. And she smiled with proud and innocent pleasure. Madame Froistier, deeply moved, took both her hands. Oh, my poor Mathilde, mine was an imitation one. It was worth 500 francs at the most. Thus, children, we have studied that because of Mathilde's behavior, her desire for more and more things, she herself was responsible to drag her into the miserable life for 10 long years. Not only Mathilde had to suffer, but along with her, her poor husband also had to suffer a lot. They had to sacrifice their life and they had to drag themselves into the miserable life. Thus, we have studied and we have learned that never desire for more and more things in the life. Whatever we have, you must be satisfied in whatever you have. Never be more greedy in life. I hope you must have understood the lesson. Try to read the lessons and find out the meaning of difficult words from the lesson. Now you have to complete the homework in your homework notebook. Question 1. Write few lines on Mathilde and her husband. That means you have to write the character sketch of Mathilde and her husband from both the parts. Question number 2. You have to prepare a formal invitation using the following format. You have to follow textbook page number 21 to complete this. That too you have to